Good morning to you, Carl. Good morning, Lisa. Listen, on Anzac Day, we of course stop and remember the contribution of our service personnel, past and present. And so it's also worth thinking about how they, and therefore our defence, is funded. Now, there's a recent headline that Australia's defence spending's dropped to its lowest level since 1938, since before the Second World War. And in pure economics terms, that's true. Spending, compared with the size of our economy, has dropped, or did drop, to around 1.7% of GDP. Now, in pure numbers, we still spend a lot. This year, $27.15 billion out of total government spending of $450 billion. Remember, though, our social security and welfare bill is almost 6 times higher. But in the next 4 years, defence spending will rise to $31.5 billion. It's up 8.3% in real terms. It's part of a plan from the Defence White Paper last year. Now, that White Paper also shows aspirations to increase defence spending to 2% of GDP. But it says long-term it bears no relationship with what Australia actually needs. That's because while the latest technology and military hardware are expensive, the best form of defence regionally is better relationships with your neighbours. In other words, trade deals where nations have mutually beneficial reasons to be friendly. Now, the best current example is this: China and the US, where Donald Trump specifically offered Chinese President Xi Jinping a trade deal in exchange for his assistance to help solve the crisis with North Korea. It's also vital Australia spends its share in making certain the region's secure, especially with North Korea now directly threatening Australia with nuclear weapons. But Australia's not alone in rethinking defence spending. This chart shows you can see the US especially has cut its spending as a share of GDP. Australia spends more than the average nation, but less than China and the UK. And on Anzac Day, as we pause for our military personnel, our priority for those called to service is that they have the best training and the very best equipment. Dow Jones up more than 200 points overnight. Time now for entertainment news with Richard Wilkins.